Good morning, evening, or afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is me, your boy TPT, coming at you, not live and not from Twitch TV. I hope you all are having a fantastic day today. So, today we will be talking about my latest achievement run, that being the Sun God Achievement, which is as Inca, embrace all the institutions and own all South America as core provinces. So, frankly, it's this one is considered a very hard achievement, but I don't know if I'd entirely agree with that. Maybe to an extent, yes, but probably not entirely. I found a lot of it is, frankly, just waiting. I finished the achievement pretty quickly, except for the manufacturers. So I finished around 1644, and then I just had to wait for about 56 years to get to the last two institutions. So, best advice is start off as Cusco. Beautiful city, by the way, 56th development. Our economy is interesting. It's about, 1/6 gold. About a quarter gold. And now keep in mind, the amount of money you get from gold is actually significantly reduced prior to reforming your religion, and reforming your religion is the top priority. It is the thing that you want to be rushing towards, because once you're able to reform your religion, you can get the institutions, so you can start catching up on tech. You can start. You get a lot of good bonuses here as well. You got 10% core creation cost, 10% morale of armies. This is legitimacy, though I'm actually a republic because I changed to a republic when I reformed, because I reformed off a colonial nation. A free colonist, and also the manpower recovery speed. So these are also my ideas. As you can see, I actually really didn't get too far into the ideas because obviously I was spending a lot of my points trying to catch up on technology and that, which I am completely caught up on and ahead on time for, which, I was quite chuffed about that. I think it went really well, that I was able to achieve that. So pretty much what you just have to do is just gobble up all of the existing South American tribes as quickly as possible. Now keep in mind, there's actually only, at the beginning, there's only around 2 mercenary stacks down here, which is obviously you'll have your independent army, or independent company or whatever, which is like your 4 or 5 infantry, and there's also one for Quito, the Quito company as well. So there's actually only 2 mercenary stacks to begin with, so you do have to be quite careful. I would suggest doing as much drilling as possible. You start off with Pachacuti, who has Conqueror, which is -5 years of separatism, plus everything is already your religion, so you can expand quite quickly. You don't have to worry about rebels too much. So realistically, you just want to gobble it all up as much as possible, because your authority is based off of 3 things. The first one is decreasing autonomy. So if you increase the autonomy, you lose authority. If you decrease it, you gain authority. I honestly didn't even bother doing that. You don't need to, in my opinion. I was able to get everything I needed to without, messing with the autonomy at all. So I don't have to worry about rebels. Events, which is probably where I actually got the majority of my authority, would be from events. You can get about 5 to 10 authority per event, and normally it's just like some unrest or a few rebels, which again is why you really want to be pumping an army professionalism up as much as possible, so that you can keep on just expanding. I had 1 ally, that's it, and I only used him for a single war. Other than that, I pretty much just conquered everything by myself. It really wasn't too difficult. And then, so I went expansion first off. I got the colonists, so I had 2 colonists. And I made sure I made just enough money to be able to colonize, because again, colonies also increase. When you get a colony, obviously gives you more development, which gives you more authority. Which is the third method of getting authority, is obviously just having more provinces, having more development. I couldn't actually figure out if it was based off development or provinces. I think it was development, but I'm not honestly not 100% sure. I still haven't figured it out exactly. And I probably don't need to. Basically, just bigger equals more. And realistically, that's all you particularly need to know. My advice is sort of colonize somewhat in this direction, because as you can see, this is where the Portuguese colonized. So I stole this off Mapuche, which put me in adjacency with the colonial nation, which I was then able to reform my religion off of, which again turned me into a republic, which has been very nice. Because obviously, again, republics are a very strong government type. Although, frankly, they're not as strong as the Inca, because I wasn't able to spend a lot of my mill points to increase republican tradition. I mostly spent a lot of them on trying to maintain military tech, because you do have to be a bit careful. If Europeans see a weakness in you, there is a chance that they will kill you. I actually only got in 2 defensive wars, I think, or 1. And one of them was after I'd already gotten all of this, which was a coalition war, because I fully annexed the entirety of Brazil in a single war, pretty much. Or like, I think it was about that much of Brazil in like one war, which they really did not appreciate. Yeah, basically all that, more or less, in one war. Maybe about 2/3 of it. That was a little bit left over at the end. And they really did not appreciate that. So I had France, Spain, France, England, and Portugal declare war on me. But obviously I was able to hold them off. This is a great choke point to have, by the way. Just dropped like 2 forts, some ramparts there, because it's tropical and you've got ramparts. So both of these forts are giving a minimum 4% attrition a month. So they're casualties, which is out of this world. It's very fun to watch. Just watch the red number go up. They also tried landing around here and around here, if that's any help at all. They never actually tried to land over here. They did land on the Galapagos Islands when I declared war on France for it. I actually declared war on France the first time round, and I took most of the Brazil, and then I declared war on Brazil itself and took like the rest of it, because I needed the Galapagos and also the Falklands. So keep in mind, for this achievement, there is a couple islands you will need, which is this one, the Galapagos, the Falklands, South Georgia, and also up here, Trinidad. So those are the 4 islands you will need for this. Keep it in mind, don't forget about them. I was able to colonize 1, and I took 2 off France, and also, if you do look, where is it? See, they're not actually in colonial regions, so be careful of that. They're not actually in colonial regions, so if someone takes them before you do, you will have to fight that person. You won't just be able to fight their colony. So keep that in mind. I unfortunately learned it the hard way. If I knew that, I would have gone for them a lot sooner, but I didn't. Thankfully though, as the Inca, you also do get a permanent claim on this one. But you don't get a permanent claim on Falklands. So if you can't reach the Falklands, it's a big pain. So try and grab this one as soon as possible, and also the same with South Georgia too. It's one of the few glacial provinces, in case you didn't notice. It's also got Arctic, meaning that its dev cost is plus 100%, which is a little crazy. Yeah, so look, realistically, I mostly just I got as much as I could here. I just waited for a while. Once the colonies had taken like a sufficient amount of land, I just decked on them, ate them all up. Portugal formed another one. Though, what I would actually suggest doing, so for example with English Columbia, I took most of it except 1 province, because there was like a couple uncolonized provinces here that I wasn't able to get to yet. And so if I hadn't left English Columbia alive, they would have just gone directly to England and they never would have formed another colonial nation. So keep in mind that unless you've completely secured the coast of a particular colonial region, keep one province of those colonial nations alive, because that's a great way of making sure that you won't have to fight their overlord for it. Because if you declare on a colonial nation, it as a native, it will not call in their overlord. So that's very useful to know. I believe Paradox actually said that they were planning on removing that, but they still haven't, so make use of it. I don't know if they actually will ever remove it, but I believe they did say they would. But again, Paradox said it, so will it happen? Who really knows? Probably a bit of a coin flip, to be honest. But again, use it while you can, because it's really, really, really good. I also used that same trick in my Athens run as well, when I was eating the Charybdis, because it's not just natives, it's anybody in the New World. So say, for example, if Florida was to declare war on Floridae, you wouldn't have France called in, and you wouldn't have Spain called in. So it works with any capital in the New World. Anyway, guys, I'm going to finish that one up here. I feel like, there's really not much to it. Just make sure you have plenty of money saved up for the institution. Try and get some points saved up too, so you can dev it, so you can, just rush it faster. That's how I was able to get it by 1703. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.